Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. This is the multiplayer co-op with Nordic farming, and we have reached episode number 40. It's May of year 5, so spring is truly here, and the weather has improved greatly on the New Frontier. We're starting just outside the farmhouse this morning with the Mog standing here proudly. We're going to be jumping in that in just a second because we've got a long list of jobs to do today, but we can see that some of the crops in our field are really becoming ready now. We're only going to have to wait another month or two before they are. We have got canola in Creekside, which is nice, and then in Veterans Park, which is over the other side of the silo, we have got barley. We've of course got grass in Ahlbom Park, which we mowed up last month, and then Longfield, which is on the track down towards the cow farm, we have got wheat. So I was a bit mistaken, we haven't got any sorghum ready, but yeah, in the next couple of months, I think next month we'll have barley ready, and then the month after wheat, and then followed by canola. But we have a plan today. We are going to be extending and expanding Creekside Farm into this area and this direction because there is a sizable piece of land that we can buy. Okay, so our farmhouse and Creekside field is right on the border of what we currently own in this area, and Nordic and I have been eyeing up area number 44 and 52 because the bank balance is looking rather healthy from all of the profits we've made. So I think because this area is fairly clear of trees, we are going to place a sizable field, a separate field, in these two areas. It's going to be one field that spans both areas. So we're going to buy 44, which is 190,000. And also area 52, which is 117,000. And yeah, there's a good sizable area here which hasn't got any trees where we can create a nice big field. Oh, here we go. Nordic is so happy. He's running through the new meadow which we own, but of course this is going to be turning to field soon. So yeah, we can make, it's a bit misty at the moment, but we can make a field that runs all the way up around the trees there. It's going to be a nice oddly shaped field. It's going to be quite a charismatic field, I guess you could say. So yeah, we're going to set to work doing that today, aren't we, Nordic? But we've got a few things we need to do first. First of all, we want to recoup a little bit of money by selling some wood chips. We've got excess wood chips. So we're going to jump in the Mog, and I think we're going to do a load each. So 2 full loads. I think that's going to be 200,000 wood chips. So that should give us a good amount of money. And then we'll don the ploughs and start setting up that new field. Oh, and one other thing is Veterans Park, which has got barley in presently. We obviously cleared a patch of land where our new silo is, so we are going to extend Veterans Park, but not connect it for the time being, but we'll make sure it's nice and ready for when we have harvested, and we can extend Veterans Park to make a nice square field. And if we get time later on today, after we've ploughed up a new field, we're going to try and lime it and drill some sorghum. So we'll have another crop to harvest later in the season. You can barely see the track in this mist. There we go, here is Longfield with our wheat in. Fantastic. And then, if we do get time at the end of the day, I think we've got some milk and some slurry to logisticize and take to where it needs to be. Slurry to the BGA and milk to the farmer's market. But let's get some wood chips sold first. I've been talking for quite a bit now, so it's time to be getting on with some work. Righty-ho, 2 batches of wood chips sold. I think we got about 36,000 for each batch, which is awesome. We're hopping back in the MOG, and Nordic and I have been doing some chatting and some thinking ahead for once. And we are going to go down to the dealership and buy a second spreader, solid spreader. And the reason for that is we want a separate one for lime than the one we've currently got that's got solid fertilizer in, and that means we don't have to keep sort of flip-flopping between lime and solid fertilizer in the one spreader. And I think we're going to purchase the one that we actually used in Kinlake as part of the Fishing and Highlands pack, which was very, very good, as it has a wind brace on it, which means that the lime isn't going to get blown by the wind as you're spreading it. So yeah, we're going to head down to the dealership, buy that, come back up to the farm, don the plows, and then we can get on with some ploughing. Righty, Nordic is coming in hot to the shop. Alright, guess I'll wait in the cab, Nordic, if you want to purchase it. There he is, in the shop. Hopefully getting a good deal. Cool, 70,500. That sounds like a good deal to me. But we still got a good bank balance. Lovely spreader. So this is the one, the Agri Spread AS2100 SCS. And this served us very well in Kinlake, so looking forward to using it on Creekside Farm. Right, I think Nordic is just going to park up here because we'll use the MOG for spreading later on. Right, didn't use the steer much last time, so I've hopped in this and we're going to use this for ploughing. Let Nordic pull forward first, and we'll grab the ploughs, and then we'll start with the extension of Veterans Park and then move straight on to creating the new field next to Creekside. Raised up and folding away. That is our lovely new field all created. And I think you'll agree that it is a very charismatic field. It's got a lovely shape to it. It's not square, that's for sure. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And Nordic and I do enjoy working in fields like this. It always presents a bit of a challenge, which is good fun. But what we've done is we've left a good amount of width between this field and Creekside, so we have a track opportunity to run between the two, and we've got a good amount of space. But in the future we might look to merge the two together, so we'll just have one much larger Creekside. Let us know your thoughts on what we should do there, merge it or keep it separate. And yeah, once I've parked up, I will take a look at the map so we can see a bird's eye view of the shape of the field, because that's usually our cue to try and find a good name for the field, and maybe the shape will give us a good idea for the naming convention. Right, let's drop the steer's plough off first. Of course, it's nicely colour coordinated. And we have, of course, extended Veterans Park as well, which was only a small job just to get that extended, which was very nice indeed. Right, let's get this detached, shall we? There we go, that's better. I think what I'll do is I'll fuel up the steer as well, because it is below half. It's probably only got a third of fuel left. Now, I did try to pick up that weight that's there, and I kind of regret buying that weight, because it is probably a bit too heavy for the size of tractors that we have got. But yeah, we'll keep it, because one day it will probably be big enough and heavy enough to support some of the tractors we're going to have in the future, potentially. Right, let's park up the steer. We are going to jump in the Mog, as that's the tractor that is going to pull the spreader, and it's probably also going to pull the drill or planter, because we're going to plant sorghum in that field. As it's May, we can plant sorghum, and that's going to be ready in a good amount of time, because sorghum does not take long to grow at all. But here we go. Here's the field, and got to say, it does look a bit ridiculous in the bird's eye view, but it's an interesting shape. Kind of looks like an eye, as in the letter I, or some sort of hourglass. Yeah. I have no idea. If you've got any ideas on what we should call this field, then please let us know, as yeah, would welcome your ideas, and we like naming stuff after all the viewers' ideas. Right, I'm gonna jump in the Mog, and what we can do is get this filled up with some lime. I think I need to start it up and open the cover to fill it up. That is a good start. So lime, 50,000 litres. I think this takes just over 10,000? 9,000. There we go. Awesome. Right, so let's head over to the field. We can do some lime spreading. I think we'll lime spread Veterans Park as well, because give it a good opportunity to soak in, as it were, before we then drill it. So yeah, let's unfold the, I don't know what the proper term is for this. Wind brace, windbreaker, sail, all manner of names that you could come up with for this. But yeah, we can start the spreader and get to liming. There we go. And we will lime up the Veterans Park extension and also our new field, which is yet to be named. There we go. All nicely limed up. We can fold in the wings and get the beacons on and drive back to park up the lime spreader. The Mog did a good job, although did seem to struggle a little bit on the terrain in the extension of Veterans Park. And then a couple of little patches on this field, but despite this being much hillier than Veterans Park, I think the Mog did better here than in Veterans Park. So yeah, it's quite interesting sometimes how the tractors do lose traction or lose horsepower or revs at certain times, or they change up gear at random times. It is quite interesting. Right, I think the best place for this is... running out of space. I think I'm going to have to park this the other side for now, but it would be great to go in front of the other spreader. Oh, I think we had some big bags of lime. That's why the door was just opening up there. But as this is covered, it probably does not need to be undercover. I think it can probably just go in front of our baler for the time being, because we're not going to be using the baler until we harvest. So yeah, we'll just knock that back in here, and then it'll be over to Nordic to drive for the planter, and we'll get sorghum selected. Making a terrible job of parking this. Right, we've traded places. It's over to Nordic to grab the planter and do the planting of the sorghum, and yeah, I don't think there's much more to say other than that. I think he's going to opt to grab the weight, which might help with the traction in that field. The planter is quite heavy. It is the Caverland planter that's just in the shed to the left here. And we'll have to pull it out using the transportation 3-point linkage. And then it actually mounts on the back, and we can pick the whole thing up, which yeah, is very useful for transportation. Right, so here we go. Get the right angle, then we can get it over to the field. We'll have to check that it's got a good amount of seed. I don't know if this takes fertilizer as well. I think it does because of that central hopper. There we go. It's got 80% in, so we'll give it a good top up, get it over to the field. Sorghum's already selected, which is good to know. And yeah, we're away. There we go. Nordic has shut her down and is folding the planter into transportation mode. Wow, that felt like a long job, and I think the Mog was certainly struggling in places, which is very interesting. I think the Mog is about 280, maybe 250, my lowest guess, horsepower, and the planter only needs 180 to run, and yeah, it's just quite interesting that the Mog was really struggling in places. I wonder if it was due to the ploughed texture. Obviously it's a direct planter, so you can plant whilst the ground is only ploughed rather than cultivated or in a seed bed state. So yeah, it's interesting to see the Mog struggle on it's only a gentle hill, and the gear change does make it a little bit interesting at times. It really does sort of bring the vehicle to a stop, even on the downhills, which yeah, is interesting to see. But nonetheless, the sorghum is in. We've used barely any seed and just over half of the solid fertilizer, so that will have the primary level of fertilization in that field, which is excellent. And we'll have to come and spray it up to the secondary level, although might be worth checking, because I think when you do plough in grass, that tends to be your primary level, so it might even be fertilised to the secondary level already. We'll give the map a check whilst Nordic is parking. So that is interesting. In certain parts where I think there was probably a decent amount of grass, it has got the secondary level of fertiliser, because the grass would have been the primary, and then the solid fertiliser, which went in as we planted, would have been the secondary. But yeah, it's looking a little bit pebble dashed in places, so we'll definitely have to spray that up. But the sorghum is in there and is growing away. Be nice to see that germinate by next month. There we go, the end of a busy day. We had a lot of money, we spent a lot of money, and then we've made a bit of money back on our wood chips. But it was nice to get some more land and extend Creekside Farm. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like us to do, then feel free to leave a comment. And as always, check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. But all that's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on Conquer the Frontier at the New Frontier. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.